Try not to kick the camera around. Decided it would be a good day maybe to do a live questions and answers. So I did a short video a couple hours ago, asked for some questions, hoping that we would get some. Do you remember when we were gonna go live and do this one time? And the channel, I guess, was a lot smaller. And we got 0 questions.
I don't remember.
0 questions. Yeah, that happened. But this time, I think we got some.
Yeah.
Money Making Mike G. And Kendra, hello.
Hi. We could probably wait a couple minutes to answer.
What's Mike up to today? Why don't we have a fireplace? Because the house didn't have a fireplace. I think it used to at one time.
Yeah.
Have a couple big ones, but somebody took them out at some point. And I'm quite all right with that. I wouldn't have wanted a fireplace, to be honest. Hello from Indiana. I've been to your state for work. It's very amazing. It's a lot of fun. I've been to Texas. Hello from Texas. Only drove through Texas. I
thought you stayed there.
I don't think we stayed in Texas. I don't remember.
It was like a hotel that was like $20 and you got a big steak with
That's-
it or something?
No. No.
Oh.
We didn't do that. There are some hotels where if you eat like a 72-ounce steak, you get to stay for free or something.
Because you're too full to like drive home.
I've been to Florida, never been to Virginia. I've been to Ohio. This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Saskatchewan, never been there. Been to Michigan. Yup, never been to Washington State. Been to Vermont. Welcome everybody.
That's probably the place we've been to the most.
Vermont, yeah, it's close. I could hit Vermont with a stick. Pennsylvania, yeah, I've been there. Pennsylvania was the first state that I learned how to spell. As a child, I worked all day to spell it out. Pennsylvania and Massachusetts. I remember. It took me all day.
The kids learn Mississippi.
Yeah, that one's kind of easy.
They
But
like that one.
so let's get to these questions.
Okay.
Because I just got the when are you moving in question, and I saw that one a lot. So.
So we want to
you-
start with the old, like the first ones first?
However, just
Okay.
as long as we can get through them.
Okay. New house, new baby.
Was that the last question?
That was the first one. I'm starting at the bottom, so it's the first one.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
So who asked
Oh,
2 hours ago?
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
Sarah's gonna be in charge of the questions. I'm just gonna talk. New house, new baby. I don't really quite know what you mean by that.
Well, it's kind of funny. So my best friend and I have been pregnant with all of our kids at the same time.
Yep.
And it wasn't like planned. It was like, oh, I think I'm pregnant. And then the other one will be like, I think I'm pregnant too.
Yeah. So all 3 kids, all each.
All
you know,
within like
so,
months.
and she's pregnant right now. So when I heard that news, I just stopped calling, stopping in. I shut off all communications.
Yeah.
No.
So it's kind of weird. She's going to be having her baby soon. So
Soon.
we are not having a baby.
I
at
asked you
same
the other day
time.
if you felt left out because I was like, Jenna's having a baby. Do you feel left out? And she's like, yeah.
I do kind of. I like being pregnant, but we are not
Yeah.
having one.
No plans on that. Jeez. No. No, we're outnumbered now. Why would you wish that upon us? Jeez.
So someone asked me to share recipes and homeschooling tips.
It's not really a question.
That is like a week-long thing.
Yeah.
But I will say every child is different, and learning at home is not like learning at school.
Mm-mm.
It is not school at home for us. It is like all day, every day learning. So find what works for you. And recipes, like, I don't know. It depends on what you like.
I would say Sarah could cook anything, but the stuff you cook tends to be like really healthy Like,
yeah, like pretty much everything I make has like raw garlic in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
Keep the vampires away.
Yeah. We got.
Oh, Lonnie from South Africa asked a
Mhm.
question here. While you're reading that question, Lonnie is the one that we sent a couple t-shirts to her mom, and they kept getting lost in the mail. And then after, I don't know, it was a long time, 6 months, one finally showed up. And then, no joke, she emailed me the other day, I think it was a year after or more from the very first shirt, the first shirt showed up.
Yeah. So if you're trying to send something to South Africa,
Yeah,
that is
the
hard.
mail is not good.
Well, the address, it was pretty interesting. It just stopped in one place over. Anyway.
Is there a question?
Yes. Do we plan to keep our vehicle? It says, but we just sold your car.
Yeah.
In the barn.
No.
So we have a very small garage that I used to always park my car in.
At our current house, you're
At our-
talking?
yeah.
Oh.
But Lucas never did that. So when I didn't have to
yeah.
drive to work.
I've
in the
never
morning,
parked my car in a garage. I don't really care to. It keeps it cleaner maybe in the winter.
Like
But
not having to clean the windshield was like so nice.
yeah. No, I think eventually here, I'd like to build a garage that's attached to the house. It'd be really nice. It'd be on the other side of the addition. That's a big plan. But you looked at me like you didn't know that. I've told you multiple
I
times.
know, and I disagree.
Well,
That's why.
this is why the garage has not been started yet.
Yeah. I don't mind. I would like a garage, but
I just want it
not
for the
attached.
space. Yeah, I just want it for the space.
Okay. Has the French drain been doing its job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no water in the basement at all since doing the French drain. And, when I did the concrete work in the basement with all the drainage and all that, I don't think I'm even getting any water out of all the piping that I put in. The only water I see in the basement now is from the dehumidifier, putting water into the sub pump hole. So, yeah, it must have worked. There's like 1 or 2 corners that show a little bit of dampness in the spring, but that's it. So that's good. That was a huge worry,
The last water we had was when the sewer was coming into the house.
Yeah, different situation.
Do you have floor plans for the upcoming full house kitchen?
You know how we roll. No plans. Nope. So when I get into that space and I demo it, and then we'll get to see what walls have to stay, what walls we can add, like the layout, then I'll start envisioning slowly kind of how I want that to look. So, and I think that's the way it should be done. I would never want to try to lay out blueprints ahead of time and then stick to those no matter what you find during demo, right? Like, it's way more fun just to...
I actually saw a steel I-beam for sale, which might be cool.
I don't want that.
For the basement? Oh,
That's
crawl
hard to put up.
space?
That's hard to put up by yourself.
In the crawl space?
A steel I-beam is hard to put up by yourself.
I thought it was good. It was like
Oh, it'd be
a
great.
good idea.
It'd be great. It probably weighs like 1,500 pounds. How am I supposed to do that?
I don't know.
Sarah sometimes thinks I'm way more capable than what I am. She's like, "Can't you just do this?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, no."
Well, we've definitely had plans of what we want to put over there, but nothing totally concrete. We kind of thought, like, obviously our master bedroom and a bathroom, but also an office now we want in the upstairs over there, because that's like a thing.
Yeah, changes, plans change, and it's important to not get stuck like in an idea. And we've never done that.
We plan to sell our other house.
Yep. Jesus is God asked, "Will you sell or rent your other house once you move in?" I would say we really want to sell it, but you never know. I mean, I don't know. I'm open to renting if the right person came around, like what we have now. I mean, that's a perfect situation. Um,
But
Ideally,
he doesn't
though,
want to rent it.
no,
so.
I've asked him. Ideally, I'd like to just sell it and be done with that house.
Mhm.
It's really difficult taking care of money making Mike G. You're not gonna be making money, Mike, if you send it to me.
Mhm.
But
Thank you.
Mike. Yeah,
We appreciate
it's
it.
been a while, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, so taking care of two houses in northern New York is very difficult in the wintertime because you're plowing two houses, you're heating two houses. It's just a headache. And I'm really looking forward to being down to one house. I didn't know it was coming, Mike. I thought you forgot about that. Oh, CJ's in the house too. Yo, CJ, I didn't see you. Your pumpkin's huge, buddy. 138 pounds.
Whoa.
If you guys don't know, CJ's got a channel in here. If he chats, you'll see him.
Mike G has a channel too.
Yep,
Right?
he does. Yep. So Mallard 5 Farmhouse. Yep, right there, Mallard 5 Farmhouse. And he just grew a massive pumpkin. And I was chatting with CJ. I want to do a pumpkin challenge with him next year. Well, I should say I wanted to do a pumpkin challenge.
But now
138 pound
we
pumpkin.
we just read Berenstein Bear's like book about like a pumpkin growing
How to
contest.
grow pumpkins?
Well, in the story, he would like sing or talk to his pumpkin to make it grow better.
I'll try that.
So we've
Yeah.
got some tips from.
Yeah, he said
Berenstein
challenge
Bears.
accepted. Well, I'm okay with losing, man. No problem with that. But we'll give you a run for the money. I've got prime farmland here. I found that out the other week. Prime.
I grew 4 pumpkins this year from the compost heap. I
Hear
just
that?
threw the pumpkin.
We grew pumpkins when we weren't even trying to grow pumpkins. Think about that, CJ.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Anyway, so the air return grate.
What do you want to talk about the air return grate?
It's awesome.
Yeah, the air return grate is something very special to me, and I got that from like a salvaged place around here. The gentleman that owned that, his whole life, his name was Kyle, and he's famous locally. He was on the American Pickers TV show. So Kyle, like, he's just really special because he just saved everything. And he passed away, unfortunately, of cancer. Right before they came to his spot to air the show, he passed away. But we went and saw him a couple months before he got really bad. And he gave me a heck of a deal on that oak air grate.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that oak air grate is really special to me.
One of the coolest things is he knew like every piece of history of
Yeah.
every piece in his like I
Yep.
don't know 5 barns of stuff.
He has over 2,000 doors like in stock, just. And but yeah, he was a huge loss.
So yeah. Yes, our parents live
We got to read the
pretty-
question, I think.
Okay.
else it doesn't
Do
make
your
sense.
parents and Sarah's parents live close to the stone house?
Yes.
We all live relatively close, yes.
Yeah, parents wise,
Mm-hmm.
her siblings live quite a ways away. My parents live probably 15 minutes away from the stone house, and same for her parents, maybe a little closer. So yeah, pretty central.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a long question.
How much time does your tenant have once you move in? That's the first part.
Our agreement with our tenant is to give him a 6-month notice of when we definitely want him to be, gone.
He told us 2 months.
He said all he would need is 2 months.
Oh.
But I told him I'd give him 6-month notice, which I'd say we kind of did that, but not at the same time, because I don't want to disrupt his life any sooner than I have to, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be ready to break ground over there in 6 months. I just
Right.
don't know. It's hard to know that. So, but that's.
I mean, he might end up wanting to leave sooner since we're very loud. So,
Yeah,
we'll see.
he can do what he wants.
Okay. Yes, the space is going to be the bedroom, the kitchen. It's 2 stories. Yeah.
Oh, so there's
Upstairs
more or less
bedroom.
asking about the other side of the
Yeah.
house. The other side of the house is 2 stories. It right now has its own staircase going up to the upstairs, but that's going to be taken out because we combined the stone house already pretty much to the other side.
Upstairs we did.
Upstairs. And here we will also.
There is one.
Yeah. So yeah, the house will be more integrated than it's ever been ever in its history, which is cool. That's kind of like my stamp on the house as far as someone that's done a major renovation. Somebody will read about that in the future of like, oh, like Lucas did the renovation in 2020, well, 2015 to 2027, and combined it into one house. But yeah, it's 11 or 1200 square foot over there. It's going to be a very large kitchen, kind of with an eat-in section. That's the whole downstairs. Upstairs will be a pretty good sized master bedroom, master bathroom, and now, like we said, is an office.
Smaller.
Yeah, a smaller office that could maybe also be another bedroom. I'm gonna, yeah,
Plan for that.
I'm gonna plan for it to be a bedroom also. Not because of more babies though.
How much butternut do we have left, and what are our plans for it?
I don't really know how much butternut lumber I have left in the barn, but a lot. It only took 40 pieces to make the built-in that we have, and I probably have 4 times as much as that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of butternut. We've got plans for things that we want to get built. Unfortunately, oh, see you later, CJ. I just saw the message. Yeah, we have plans for other things I'd like to get built, but the Amish guy, it kind of takes a while to build stuff, you know, makes sense. So, we'll see. We'll see. I also wouldn't mind trying to build stuff myself if I was bored.
Have you done any work on the little playhouse for the kids? Just cleaning it doesn't count. No, we haven't.
No, the little house out there.
You were talking about moving it and
Yep.
like putting it up higher, and I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Yep. For those of you that don't know, there's a little building outside to the left of the barn out there, and it's probably like a 5x7. It's a chicken coop, I think. It's got a door like a chicken coop.
It does, but there's no
Um,
evidence of chickens in it.
Yeah. What do they do? Like make like cave drawings on the wall or something? How do you know?
Poop all over?
Well, you
people?
clean it, don't you?
Mm.
Yeah. No, I did. I didn't have much to do last weekend, and I was thinking about building a playhouse for them. But I ran out of steam real quick because it's just such a task. It's such a big project. It's not a weekend project by any means. And it's weird, but I have a friend that's a very, very talented builder from Portland, and he builds really amazing tree houses. And I'm really hoping next time he comes home, maybe I could trick him into helping me build some amazing, tree house. So Ian, if you're listening,
And then draw an amazing picture of
yeah,
it.
Ian's the person that designed one of the shirts that we sell on Teespring, the one that says salvaged, and then there's a picture of like a tree made out of salvaged looking wood. He drew that.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Will we be painting and updating the porch to the side of the house?
I think that's that one or that one. We have a lot of porches. There's 3 porches, and I always don't know which one's the side and which one's the front. But I can answer the question. Yes, all the porches on all of the house are gonna get redone. The porch that we have in the front, that's only gonna get paint.
It needs to be jacked.
Yeah,
up.
jacked up and leveled. The front porch, I have a whole bunch of old windows and doors. That doesn't surprise anybody. And I'm gonna put a glassed in 3-seasoned porch on the front. And then on the back, we're gonna make it much larger and have like a roof and we really like our outdoor space. So yeah, lots of porch work. It's supposed to be done by now, actually. The Amish guy got kind of busy.
Have you moved in yet? I know all your stuff isn't moved in, but are you staying there most of the time?
I don't want to bring any more stuff
Come
here.
on.
I don't want to bring any more stuff here. We have a lot of stuff, like just toys and things, and
It's kind of nice that it's not cluttered,
It's
but
really
at the
nice.
same time, it's like, oh, I don't need it, but like I want certain things.
oh, I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to do this at least, and make a list as things come up of things that we know we have at the other house, and then once in a while we'll go there and bring stuff here. But we're not gonna just move everything because we're different people now than we were when we first moved into that place and started accumulating things. And we're not minimalist by any means, but there's just certain things that I just don't want to transfer over here because I don't think we need them. And I'm hoping we can find families to take that kind of stuff. But we'll see.
A lot of clothes. I used to shop.
It's more your clothes. I wear like the same shirt every day.
Yeah, but you have more than like 50 t-shirts. Truth be told. Okay. So we are staying here
Yeah.
every weekend and usually a couple days.
Well, right now we've been here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we it's weird maybe for some people, but there's no plan for us. We have a little bit of food at each house.
Yeah, that's tricky.
It is
but-
tricky, but it's really nice not having to drive back and forth because we'd come here every single night at say 4:30 and work a little bit, and then Sarah would either bring dinner.
Kids are getting more and more used to it. I
Yeah.
know I kind of am.
Yeah, I
So-
feel just as comfortable here as I do at the other house.
I'm almost more comfortable. I'm getting there because there's less clutter, and clutter sometimes is just like I don't want to look. Okay. What about a picket fence or any type of wood fence to edge off the property on the roadside?
I've thought about that. I think I would like to put some sort of fence. There's a very steep bank before the road. That doesn't make it safer by any means, but it is one of these really nice natural things that you have that keep your kids or your dogs from really easily just going into the road. A fence would be even better. I would say that there will be a day that I'll put a fence in the front. It'll probably be a combination wood, stone fence. Yeah, definitely.
Another question about the porch.
The
It's
front porch.
mostly in good condition. They asked,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the porch, the main porch that we come in on is in really good condition, really. We found some spindles that are rotten, and like you could never tell until you touched it, and the paint like deteriorated to nothing.
It was like it was painted wet and it just like rotted from the inside. It was
Mhm.
quite surprising.
Yeah, so there's some work out there on that porch, but not a ton. And I really like the multiple layers of paint look that we have. And it's solid, it doesn't
Well,
leak.
we thought there was gonna be some honeybees
Yeah,
making a little home there, but luckily they
yeah,
decided against it.
yeah.
That would have been a mess. What's our opinion of the ventless dryer? So we tried it today.
Today was the first load of laundry that
Mhm.
we dried with the Whirlpool. I don't know the model number, but it's the heat pump ventless dryer.
The clothes got dry.
It dried the clothes.
It makes kind of a high-ish pitch noise, which is different than most dryers.
Yeah, it does sound totally different.
But it
It worked.
It worked well.
How long did it take to dry the load?
I think Lily said it was an hour and 40 minutes.
An hour and 40 minutes to dry the load. So that's not for everybody. But it also uses a lot less electricity. If I haven't said it yet, I think I said it on Instagram. When that thing is pulling its full load of power and it's drying, it's doing its thing, it's only pulling like 2 amps. I mean, a normal electric dryer, which you know, we could have gone gas here, but electric dryers will pull like 11 amps. And amps, like that's really where you can tell like how much money you're spending on electricity is the amperage. Voltage obviously matters too, but that's a lot less electricity. And I didn't have to put in a dryer vent, so.
So there was an option, like you can pick a bunch of options. It's not for me. It's all digital. A lot of buttons.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, but there was one option that would make it go
Faster.
45 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's basically an electric dryer.
Yeah, but I don't need it to go fast because I
Yeah.
do like
At the
one
end-
load a day.
At the end of the load or towards the end of the load, we could hear the water coming out of it. It was a
Yeah.
lot of water,
Yeah.
which, you know,
Well, I mean,
whatever.
we were up there listening for it.
You could hear it draining.
Mhm.
We got the washing machine too today. It was delivered today. I put it on Instagram. We got a Speed Queen. I won that one because Sarah didn't want a new washing machine.
No.
And I just said,
I like it, thank you.
well, it's not for you.
What? You said it was mine the whole time. Us. It's for us, anyway. So far in the one load of laundry we've done, it worked well.
5 stars.
Yeah. Yes, our tenant is still leaving the
You
house.
gotta read the question.
Oh, is your tenant still leaving the house? I
Oh.
answered the question I said the question by answering it. Have we slept at the house more than those days that we saw in the video? Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been staying here pretty much every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday. And so,
We're on pace right now, I think, to stay this whole week. I would just feel bad because we do have a pet gecko, and he's probably just like, where is everybody?
I mean, he's not like, he doesn't come out to see us.
He
or
comes out to
anything.
see me.
Oh, that's nice.
I miss him. I should go get him right now.
Oh, yeah. Will you keep all the power tools and big machines that you have purchased in the renovation period after everything is done?
Probably. I'm not really a woodworker. I wouldn't mind being a woodworker. We'll see. I don't know.
You like having things like that? Like being able to do whatever?
I like being self-sustained, so if I need to make something, but I really don't want to make things, I don't think.
Hmm.
It's a fun hobby. I don't mind it. I would say that I'm relatively good at it just because I'm kind of detailed oriented, but it's also like a time-consuming hobby, and you know, to go and spend like hours and hours in a shop making something. I don't know. I definitely don't want to be a carpenter or anything like that. So there would be no reason to have like every Milwaukee tool that I have now. So maybe I'll downsize some of that and recoup some of the money I've spent on the tools, you know. It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. So Pam Richardson's birthday's today, so
Happy birthday, Pam.
birthday. And I'm not sure I'm understanding the question, but have you done any work on the trim for the stairway where the ceiling and the upstairs floor meet?
I know exactly where you're talking because I asked a while back, I think on an Instagram post possibly, like how you would trim this specific spot out. It's a really tricky spot, but no, I have not made anything. I literally think about it probably every time I walk down the stairs, and I've got an idea in my head of how I want to do it. It's just about when will that job become a priority for me to finish it? Probably soon because I stare at it a lot.
Kendall asks, will you be doing a country style garden flower bed, or is it more veggie and foodstuffs? Hosta are shade lovers. Historically, you probably will find iris, lily of the valley, peonies, lilac, and roses. So that's like my jam.
I don't know anything. Someone told us earlier that you can eat hostas. I was like, you can eat hostas? And Sarah's like, oh yeah.
We were eating the flowers
They're
last
great.
week.
They're great.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about flowers.
So the only thing
Sarah
that we
does.
don't have on your list are roses, and I really wanted to get roses.
Yeah.
But I have a ton of flowers at our other house, and I've actually been moving them, and it's taken me like a lot. I brought a giant hosta today, and
Huge.
yeah, it was pouring rain, but I was like, I have to at least get one a day. So I'm just like,
Yeah, we got a lot of those.
mm-hmm.
They're
So,
all
yeah.
really special too. They're all from Sarah's like grandmother's house. So they're like family flowers that are
Yeah.
definitely hers, but could be from generations before.
Well, my aunt told me that the tulips that she has, actually, my aunt brought them to my grandmother from Holland.
Do they come up every year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The tulip festival in Holland. I was like,
Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
There you go.
And then she told me like other history of different flowers and how long she's had them and all this, which is really cool.
You should get her to write it all down.
Mm-hmm. So yes, flowers are awesome. I love herbs and garlic, and my mom and I have always shared a garden, so it'll be kind of new to like do the whole planting, keeping of the vegetable garden, because usually it's like a team effort. Will the move affect your commute to and from work? Every move has pros and cons. What's on your list?
It does affect my commute in that it makes it probably half as long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if we go back to the office. We're 100% teleworking right now. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon for me. I've been told that we're probably going to be working from home till March. But when I have to drive to town for work, it's half the distance, which is nice.
So our old house is really close to the road. Like literally the snowplow can plow and have it hit our door.
It's horrible. Like
for real.
if it snowed a lot in one night, you'd wake up and literally have like 6 feet of snow on your car because they push it. They just keep we call it winging it. They're winging it back, and it just literally pushes it on top of your car. And it's the hard, crusty. You know,
dirty
there were multiple days I'd wake up and I'd look at it and be like, nope, not going to work today. Nope.
So anyway, that part is not good, but it was in town, so people supposedly drive slower, which some of them do. Here, we're a lot farther from the road, but it's fast, and it's a blind hill driveway, so that's a downside.
The driveway is the worst part of the house, the property and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. My grandpa, when he used to pull out, I'd always like take a couple years off my life because he'd pull out so slow, and a couple people had to squeal on their brakes. You know, nothing close to a collision, but it's surprising for people when they're driving and you're right there.
Well, last fall or in the spring, we had like 3 deer hit right here.
Yeah.
Like a motorcycle hit a deer and a couple
It's just
cars.
a blind hill.
Yeah, so that's a downside, but you can't really get away from roads.
No,
It's hard to do.
you can try.
Anyway. Will we be painting all the walls prior to moving in? No.
Nope.
They're still just primed.
We're terrible at paint color selection though too. So if it came to like, oh, we can't move in until we paint, like it might be 2 more years.
Yeah, I'm so indecisive.
Mm-hmm.
But the Modsy thing that we did, like, I wouldn't mind. She talked about like samplies, where you get like a sample and you like can stick it on your walls and stuff and see what it looks like. I think we should do that. So then you don't paint like a whole bunch and then be like, oh. Anyway.
I don't like painting. I don't even.
I
know.
actually like painting a lot.
That's why I
It's
married.
such a-
That's why I married you.
It's such a big.
Do you remember the
dramatic
day we
change.
met? The day, and I was like, hey, you know, and it was
Do you
Lucas.
like-
I was like, you like painting? And you're like, I love painting. I'm like, girl.
Wow.
I
that's
dislike
amazing.
painting so much. I don't know what it is about it.
Will we be showing moving in and unpacking? We probably could have done a little video tonight.
Yeah, that'd be tough to do because we kind of did it.
We're kind of, it's a process.
We're
going slow.
50% easy moved in.
Maybe.
Easy.
But the kids were all super excited. I got a whole box of hangers.
Yeah.
And they were hanging clothes up
Yeah.
in their closet.
They never had closets before, so Lily's like hanging. This is the first time when she was doing that, hanging up the clothes. I saw the excitement for moving in and making her closet. Like, she said, I need a hook right here for my backpack. So I went down and got a hook and put it in right where she wanted it. And then she's like, hey, you know, she's seeing it come together. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And I thought about recording it, but I'll be honest with you, I sometimes feel like I record too many moments like that, and they should be just for us, in the sense that, like, Lily and I, right? Like, moments.
Well, it kind of shows because, like, we were at we had a fire tonight, and, like, they just want to take a video of, like, whatever they're doing. But I mean, it's funny because we're not, like, huge into technology stuff, but, like, because of YouTube, we usually have a camera going. So it's kind of interesting.
I try to scale back the recordings of what I view as, like, really special things, just because, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I would want that on video.
Right.
Personally. But I don't want my kids to always feel like, oh, Dad only records us when we're, you know, so he can put it on YouTube. You know, like, I don't know.
I don't think they feel that way.
Well, they don't now, because they probably can't come up with that thought themselves, but...
It's all they've ever known.
Right. Right. Well, it is kind of for Jace.
I mean, Lily doesn't remember before either.
She says she remembers everything.
Yeah, she does. Is there anything you finished a while ago that you now feel you could have done differently?
What a good question.
Oh.
You know, Sarah and I, we've talked about that topic, and I don't think there is, and I think it's because, like, we did things so slowly that everything was thought out. Like, I didn't do anything without thinking about it for at least a week, because I would work all week, think about the project at hand, and then come here on the weekend and do it. So everything was really, really thought out. So, like, the flow of everything just feels right. I mean, we're noticing now, I'll show you real quick. We got, like, this little tiny bench, or what is that? Stand? Got that little stand the other day. Just, it was a good deal, so we bought it. And there really isn't any place to put things, like, because the windows are so low and deep and big that decorating is a little tough. Same over here. You can see I got that little tiny, what is that, a couch? And then I got a stand-up desk. And it's kind of hard to lay things out when you've got, like, no wall space. But that's not something I could have changed.
No. We need bookshelves. Because, like, could they see the windowsill?
Well, yeah, this is what our windowsills end up looking like. If you can see it.
It's like
that
all
one.
their school stuff.
Yep, that's school supply stuff. So, you know, I just said there's a rule. We won't stick to this, but I want it to be a rule. We don't get any piece of furniture unless unless there's storage involved.
You broke your rule yesterday.
Well, that's a couch. It's a little different. But see, the little drawer, that's...
Sure. I mean, that'll fit a lot of pencils. But...
Yeah, it's a pencil drawer.
Sure.
Did we answer that question?
I don't know. Did we want to change anything?
I really don't want to change anything.
The only thing I think that we would have done differently is, like, the boiler. Like, we wouldn't have had it set up for radiators.
Oh, well.
Like, that was a plan.
Yeah, but we can run those radiator zones off of in-floor too, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we totally 100% thought we were going to be doing a lot more in-floor zones than radiators. And the valves are a little different on that, and it's kind of an expensive oopsie, but it hasn't affected us, and I don't think it will. We're just going to have some zones on that boiler that we never use.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good enough deal on that boiler where it doesn't hurt my feelings. I think we did all those.
Yeah, not this one.
Oh.
I'd be interested in seeing your current house interior before you move out and maybe walk through afterwards.
We probably, so that's Linda. Yeah, so Linda, we probably will not show our current house at all There's a lot of reasons to that, but I'm not too interested in showing that. I don't even want to. I don't know if I mean, it's
I
not
don't
really
know.
something that I can explain. It's our home. It has been for 15 years, and you grew up there as a child too. And this is our home too, obviously. So it's kind of like, well, you're showing your home now. You're right. I don't know. That's
Well, like
separate
if
from
we
this.
showed like fixing it up, it would be totally different.
Yes.
It'd be fixing it up like superficially
Yeah.
because it's not, it's just something you expect someone's gonna move in really soon and change it anyway. So it's not like we're
I
gonna.
think what you're
I
saying
don't
is,
know.
like, I take my time on every little detail here, but if I was gonna go and show the renovations to the other house, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be putting down like laminate floor, or something
just
quick,
something
something
quicker.
cheaper, not made to last forever per se, but just to make it look better. And that was a starter home for us, so it was a great home. It owes us nothing, but it's nothing special at the same time. It's been used, When we bought it, it was a rental that Sarah's parents owned, and it was in really bad shape. And all we had was like a $2,000 budget to try to make it livable, which somehow we did. That was amazing, because we changed every room a little bit, but it was tough at first.
Well, since then we put a lot.
Well,
of
we
other
we
things
put more into it
it.
after the fact, but
Right.
yeah, so probably won't share that.
Yeah.
That was a good question we just saw. Is the renovation stressful? I've been probably ignoring a ton of questions
Oh,
on the
yeah.
screen. I just kind of thought about that. Renovation in general, is it stressful? Yeah, I think you have to say yes to that, because it's a expensive thing to do. It's time consuming. Like, I just talked to one of my good friends on the phone today, and I just told him, like, I've been a horrible friend for 5 years. Like, I'm not there. If he needs help, or if my sisters need help with something, my parents, this place has consumed me. Even for my own family that I tend to bring here when I'm working, it still consumes my thoughts, my money. And so, yeah, it's stressful in those sense of those things, but I also really enjoy it too. So it brings I really like being busy. I really like the thought process, the design aspects of building something.
Well, like yesterday, was it yesterday you did that whole list? You did like a list of things. And he's like, how like satisfying it is to have like a whole list of
What do you mean, a list of
random
things?
things that you wanted to get done.
Oh,
And you can like cross them off.
she's
like
talking
a little
about
bit
for
of
the
this.
for the video that I'm making for like next video. I started off with Lily. We went into every single room and we picked out the one or two things that bothered me, like things that my like OCD tendencies tend to stare at, and then we fixed all of those things. And now there's new things. I stare at other things, but those things are fixed and better. And if I just do that 50 times.
Someone else wants to know about the garden. So I've been transplanting everything and
Kind of
plan
already
to do
answered
that.
it. I'm sure
Yeah.
if they listen, they heard that.
Mhm.
Sarah's really excited about the gardening, and I am too. I think it's gonna be really cool to do that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Totally different than what I'm used to. This is a good question. I saw this question come in.
Have you been keeping track of
It's from
expenses
Sean Reagan.
during the renovation? Do you have a budget going into the project? Any insight on how much you've spent so far and how it compares to your expectations?
Yes, I've been keeping track. I would say that I'm not as good about keeping track now as I was probably a year ago. I kind of hit a wall where, I don't know, I stopped caring about what we spent. And that sounds like we're loaded, but we're not. I've had a lot of comments. rude comments, you know, like, why do you play sad? This one always sticks with me. Why do you play sad music? You're just a bunch of rich people renovating a house. It's like, what? My music's sad? No, we're not rich by any means. We have lived a certain life that allows us to do this. We're not in a lot of debt, and we don't spend money on, like, I don't drink, we don't go to restaurants, we don't do entertainment things. We spend money on our house and our kids. So, I got really, so yes, I kept track of every dime for a while, and it added up. It started to kind of consume me, like, did I make the right decision financially? Like, was this a good idea for me? I didn't like the feelings that I was getting from that. I didn't want it to become like a money thing for me, so I kind of quit keeping track of every dime.
I think it got to the point where it's like, well, we tend not to try to do any debt. So if we can't pay for something,
Yeah.
we just do something else until we can save the
Yeah.
money to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I think it got to the point where it's like, okay, we're putting more money into this house than it would ever be worth.
Yeah.
Which it's not about money. It's about building this house that we want to enjoy.
Yeah. We've probably
For our family.
we've probably put more into it than what it's worth at this point. And I
We're
haven't
not
even
done.
I haven't done the other side of the house, which
Right.
is probably going to be expensive also. Around here in northern New York, I mean, it's really rare to see a $250,000 house. It's really, really rare. And I'm not saying this is a $250,000 house. It's not. I mean, it's a 3,100 square foot house. They kind of talked about, I wanted to talk about this, budget. So we've never budgeted. It's never been, I've never been like, you know, some shows are so weird. They're like, we've got $1,500 in 1 week to finish this living room. Like, it's never been like that. A lot of what you see has happened through chance, and like, you know, we find salvaged wood. I'm like, well, how much is there? Oh, it's 1,000 square foot of salvaged this. I'm like, okay, where can I put that? Where would it be best? And so that kind of shaped the house. It shaped,
Yeah.
you know, the budget, I guess you could say.
We always try to get a really good deal, but at the same time, like, we feel strongly about the types of materials that we
Yeah.
put in the house.
Yeah.
So like, first of all, we want it to be like salvaged usually.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I'm on
we're
Facebook
always,
every day.
Yeah, we're always looking for a good deal.
Yeah. Someone just listed some marble for sale on Facebook. It's 400 square foot of like a really nice looking marble, but they still want $4 a foot, which might be worth that. But we paid 50 cents a foot for the granite that we have in the bathroom, and the marble that we have in the bathroom is all 50 cents a foot. And then we have a whole bunch of a different type of granite for the kitchen that I paid 50 cents a foot for. 50 cents.
And we've been just storing it.
We've had that for 8 years. We bought it before we owned the stone house.
You're right, we did. Didn't
Yeah.
We?
We bought it before we had a place to put it. It was just
It was a good deal.
it was a pallet of granite. I'm like, yeah, I want that.
I always think about like that funny, it's like a funny picture. It's like, just because the leopard print tights are like 50% off
What?
doesn't mean you need the leopard print tights,
What?
but like we
Oh,
do.
What are you talking about?
It's like, if it's a really good deal, you just have to
Oh.
buy it.
Yeah. I
Even
mean,
if we store it for 8 years.
We have found some amazing deals. We probably should do a video just on that alone of the things that I've found or gotten for free.
Well, I just found like the railing that we're going to use probably for our back porch for free. All the spindles. There's
Yep.
tons of it.
Yep, spindles and railing off an old porch
Yep.
for free.
Anyway.
So, as
yeah.
far as how much we've spent, I wouldn't be able to tell you at this point. And I got $25 more to spend though. Thanks, Leah.
We'll go find another good salvage deal.
Yeah. It's safe to say it's somewhere between a lot and a lot. to be honest. It's a lot of money to us.
For us, yeah.
Some people could spend what we've spent and probably think it's normal. Yeah.
And sometimes we're like, okay, buy whatever it is because you're going to be doing the work. So, like, you're saving that much in labor. So we're like, oh, well, we've saved twice that.
There's no way that I could have afforded to pay someone to do what I've done. There's no way. At like $40 an hour, which is the going rate for a really good carpenter around here, there's no way. It would have been a $400,000 project at this point.
Heather asks, what will we be renovating after you move in? What are your future plans for the house? And in what is your timeline for them? So we obviously plan to do the other side of the house and like landscaping and like you said, a garage someday.
Yep. The other side of the house, I'm predicting, will probably take me 2 years.
I think 2 years.
Maybe a little faster because I get a lot done when I'm living here.
Yeah. Our Pamela asks, are y'all going to use the decorator that you showed examples of that was sent to you? Love their suggestions.
Talk about Modzy from one of the sponsored videos. Probably not.
Well, I liked her
Well,
ideas.
yes, we are. We're going to 100%.
Right now, this room can't be what she designed because we just have so much. Like it needs to function in a different way than just a
we were
living room.
probably tough clients for her because she was like, so what do you guys want to envision? And we're just like, I want storage.
No.
I want lots of storage, you know, like bookshelves. And we want some fancy. Okay, so I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you know, you go on Instagram and you see pictures of people's houses, and I see things where I'm like, that has no use. You put that on your shelf, like because it looked cool.
You're styling, and we're just not like that.
We're not stylers.
But that's why I liked that sponsorship.
She did a really good job.
She did a great job.
There was nothing that was useless. It was like pillows, you know, things that you use. So that app is really amazing though, as far as like choosing paint colors and anything else like that. But I don't know if...
Well, she got us though, because she was you know, these are an example of these chairs that you can probably find at a thrift store, you know, and reupholster.
Yeah, for like an accent chair.
Yeah.
So it's like how to look like her. Because those things from Modzy, like I should have showed it probably in the video, but they're pretty expensive. Like the light that they selected.
Well, they're like Crate and Barrel and things like that. So like.
What's that?
It's a store.
Oh.
It's just a higher priced things than like Target or something.
Yeah, well, the light was like $800, and I was like, whoa.
It was cool though.
Well,
but
better be cool for $800. It better do like.
But we want to use her example when this living room can be just a living room. Like paint, yes. Curtains, maybe. Layout and stuff right now, it's just like we have a lot of computers and we have to use it in a different way.
Isn't it just safe to say we always take function over form? Always.
Yeah.
Always. Like that stand isn't there because it necessarily looks the best there. We put it there because it's convenient for Lily when she's drawing or doing something in that window to have the stand right next to her. Like so function over form.
You're the cat.
Our cat's being so crazy lately. He just meows randomly for no reason.
Do you have oil or gas filled for the winter to heat your home since you will be there this winter? And is the fireplace functional if there is one? So we have no fireplace.
No fireplaces in the house, and we did that not on purpose. When we bought the house, there were no fireplaces, and I had no intentions of ever putting one in.
We did put a wood stove in the basement.
Oh, that's different.
And that did not work out well at all.
I have burned wood my whole adult life. And I burned wood at my parents' house with my dad, you know, we'd help cut. I'm sick of that. That is a lot of work. Nope. It's dirty, smoky. There's no. It's a great heat. But to answer your question, we have propane here. It's a new propane on-demand boiler that heats our water. It's awesome. Endless hot water in the shower. Endless tub water. It's amazing, and it's a lot more efficient than a hot water heater, like electric hot water heater.
So Jace was like, I'm gonna go take a really long shower, and I was like, no, you're not. I was like, if you want to be in a long time, you can take a bath, because the hot water would never run out. He would just be in there forever.
Yep.
Playing with his toys.
At my house, growing up with 3 sisters and myself, we'd run out of hot water. Like the 40-gallon hot water heater just couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have that issue here, so we got that on-demand propane. It's really worked out.
Mm-hmm.
And just to tell you, I guess, to finish the full story on the boiler. So when we moved in here, there was a oil boiler, and we were spending $700 to $800 per month. We bought the house in December. $700 or $800 a month to heat the house to like 45. So it was bearable just to be working in here. And now, dead of winter, at most, that propane boiler cost me maybe $300 a month. Probably less, but I'm gonna say $300 to make it like more plausible. It's just super insulated.
That includes the other side, though.
Yeah, that heats
That's
the other
not
side.
insulated very well, probably.
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah, I think it'll be more efficient even when we finish the other side of the house.
Mm-hmm. So Barbie says, it's been amazing following your journey. And how many man hours have you committed to editing your videos?
Editing? Oh,
And
I thought it was gonna be for the work.
Who is responsible for that? That is 100% you.
Yeah, Sarah originally was editing videos in the very beginning, and then I pretty much just took that over, not for any reason, I just ended up doing it. I think I found that I really like doing it.
Well, what's funny is the oldest videos would be like, oh, your video just surpassed like however many
I wouldn't
views.
say that, yeah.
But he's definitely got like a system down. He wanted me to edit one the other day, and I was like, I can't edit like you.
It's very difficult. Anybody who edits to YouTube and does what we do, it's very difficult. It's not for everybody. I see a lot of channels come and go, and I think it's because of that. You've got to be diligent. It's like I get done work at 4:30, and I'm editing till 6. Most nights.
Yeah.
You know, that's even if you don't see a video from me for like 2 weeks. I mean, I'm still editing. I'm editing every day, and you have to, or else you wouldn't be able to put out content like you should or need to. So yeah, lots. I'd have no idea how many. I'd say the average video takes me 12 to 14 hours to edit. Easily, between music selections, if I choose music.
Well, that's the next part.
Yep, comments.
They love Barbie loves the soundtrack. And is there a favorite song that you will like live with us as a reminder?
A lot of the music does.
Yeah, we listen to it actually in the truck a
Yep,
lot.
yep.
And there's certain songs that like literally make me cry.
Yeah.
It like is linked to whatever video you made. The kids love the one song, the One of a Kind.
One of a Kind, yeah.
Like, that's like their soundtrack.
My go-to song, the one that I will always be able to remember and listen to, is the one that I played, I think just in the last video. It just says, "Will you remember?" And it's obvious why I'm doing that. You know, like, I make my videos, oddly enough, for me. For me. For you. You know, like, my kids, my parents, like, I make them thinking, like, I'm going to watch this 20 years from now. You know, like, if people on YouTube are still watching them 20 years from now, cool. But I don't expect that to happen. It's for me. And my kids, you know, I want my kids to be able to watch that when they're older. And and get something out of it, you know? So yeah, when I'm editing, it's
a good song.
yeah, it's a great song, and I hope that I don't know if they're gonna remember this like I want them to. I think with the videos, it will certainly help.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't really watch them now, but they will, I'm
Yeah.
sure. They watch them. Sometimes they'll watch like half the video before I release it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We don't let our kids watch a ton of screen time stuff. So
Even if it's us.
yeah, even if it is them. And
That's kind of funny. Self-sufficient gardening seems like a must. So I've always grown up like canning and drying. My mom just got a freeze dryer, which is super cool.
really fancy freeze dryer.
But I don't usually do that. But like, you know, freezing things from the garden and drying things and canning, it's like
I
what we
grew up
do.
kind of pizza subs kind of person. So
So that's the last question on
it
this.
is super cool to be able to grow your own food and get a supply of it. And then, you know, it might not give you everything you need, but it gives you the essentials. And then you know where your food came from. It's definitely more healthy. And it's a fun habit, a pastime, a hobby. I don't know if it can be considered a hobby when it's like you're growing food to survive. And it's not a hobby,
Yeah.
but it is cool.
Yeah.
So those are all the questions?
Yeah, that's all the questions.
That
Do
was
you
a
want me
lot
to
of questions.
Go through the ones that were asked on this video quick or no?
I don't know. That might be really tough to do,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if I can go back.
It's a lot of questions.
Okay. Does it start at the top?
Do you
or
play?
does it
I can
start
see.
at the
I can answer these. Do you watch Life Uncontained? I have watched their videos. Yep. I don't watch a ton of YouTube right now. I would say that I'm watching the least amount of YouTube personally as I probably have ever watched. I don't know why that is. I'm finding it just I don't have a lot of time right now. Canning recipes? Maybe we'll do some videos. I think that'd be fun actually when like the main kitchen is done and get some videos of doing different things in the kitchen. But I would say that we're not experts, so I don't know if we should be sharing like what we do or
For
how we do it.
canning?
Yeah, like
Well, it's like even my mom, who's done it forever, will be like, "Look in your blue ball book." It's like the
I don't even
you
know what that means.
Oh, like it's like a canning book,
Oh.
and so it gives you all the information about how to can something safely.
Oh.
So that's basically what we do.
Someone just asked about the basement dampness. Yeah, that's all taken care of. Ever since doing the French drain and the new floor, there's really none. I was thinking I'd like to get a bigger dehumidifier. Right now we have like a normal house plug-in dehumidifier. I'd like to get something a little bit bigger, like one of those hanging units. I think a company called Allison makes some really nice ones. They're like kind of expensive. They're like $1,100.
We don't really have a problem with it though.
We don't, but you know, I do keep a mindful eye of the moisture in the house because it's spray foamed. So
And I'm like, I want to make it a sauna with humidifiers.
I know, Sarah. We usually run humidifiers at our other house. Every kid has their own humidifier, and we fill them up a gallon every single day.
Yeah, so
And-
like 3 gallons a day.
Yeah, so 3 gallons of water going in there. We could not do that here.
No.
Every window would fog over.
So I was gonna start at the top.
Making the room under the stairs a secret room, or I really thought about making it a secret room. I don't mind that you can see it. I kind of like that there will be a visible door.
Lily kind of wanted it all the same color.
Yeah, Lily kind of wanted it to be more like secret-y looking.
So how far is our house from this house? It's about 10 minutes. Mindy asked that a couple times. So when we're driving back and forth, it's not like super far, but it's just like the fact that you have to pack stuff and go and then bring stuff back and put it away. That's like the worst.
Spend a lot of time just on the road. Dan Curry, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
Someone said to get some heritage apples, Tolman Sweets. Yeah, our one apple tree, we have 2 apple trees back there. One of them I think is toast.
I gotta try my best to bring it back, but it's just something, I don't know. I
It's
think
right
it's
next
seen
to a
its
black
day.
walnut tree. I think that's part of it. And then the other apple tree, which is looking pretty good, only had 1 apple on it this year, which is really weird. I don't know why.
The house is not on any kind of old house registry, and I gotta be honest, I'm kind of happy about that because you can. I don't think it would happen way out here. I'll call it in the country, but there's some houses I think that are on the registry, like in town in the village, and you can't do the kind of work that I've done. I wouldn't have been able to. They wouldn't have allowed me to, and it's your house, so I would not have wanted to have that sort of regulation.
I heard that it's not that bad. That they only regulate you if you're getting money for it.
Like grant money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, I want new windows, and they're like, okay, we'll give you a grant, but you have to use historic windows. Like
So you can get
style.
free grant money to get windows.
That's just what I've heard. I didn't do this research, but.
Hmm.
But you're not regulated if you're not using
I want
their
a
money.
I want a full report on how to get free windows. Yeah, it can be. I think depending on the area, it can be very restrictive. Leah, yes, I do. Like Boston, I bet you it's crazy if you have a historic home. I bet it's like you can only paint it certain colors, stuff like that. I bet you. I mean, I don't know that. I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't bet you. It'd be like a friendly handshake bet.
I never make a bet unless I know that I'm right.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
And so it's not really betting. Somebody else wants me to do a cooking video.
Everybody wants to see you cook.
I cook all day, every day.
She cooks a lot because she makes the kids 3 meals a day pretty much, every day, and it's always like some. When you make beans, it's not like a can of beans. Like you soak the beans in water for like 3 years before you cook them. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
It's just overnight with a little sea salt. Somebody said, oh, Dan, who donated, said, it seems to me that this project made your marriage stronger. That's interesting.
I don't know. Sarah and I, we don't talk about this kind of stuff a lot, but because everybody's like, my wife is the best wife in the world, and it's true for you, right? It's true for you. And that's great. I'm glad that people say that, and it's true for you. But like Sarah and I, I don't know, our relationship's always been so good, and it started in high school for you that didn't know that. We were on a bus ride going to the soccer state championship. It was bus number 58, and I was in the heater seat. Bus 58 was my bus. That was the bus that I rode every day. So I'm in my seat on my bus, the heater seat. It's where you have a heater underneath you. It heats your feet.
And it's bigger.
It is a little bigger. Yeah, it's a nice seat. I don't want to brag. It's a nice seat. Heater seat.
I was like, I'm so cold. Can I sit with you?
And so a kid, his name was Colin, he came up as we were driving, because back in the good old days, you could walk around on the bus as it was moving, because seatbelts were like, And Colin's like, can Sarah sit with you? I'm like, who? And he's like, Sarah, and he points down, you're at the front of the bus with your friends. And I was like, she's cute. Yeah, she can sit with me. That's exactly what I said. I go, she's cute. Yeah, she can sit with me. And I won't tell you the whole story.
I should have paid him for that.
You owe Colin.
I do. I owe him.
Because imagine if he never...
Yeah, if he was like, I'm not going over there.
Apparently Sarah liked me for a long time before that event.
Well, just because you're cute.
Oh.
But yeah. So funny thing.
Long story short, Sarah kissed me on the bus that night.
Stop it. Anyway, so just yesterday when we were driving, Jace was like, were you ever married before and had a divorce? And I was just like, no.
Nope. First one.
Yeah. But I was like, don't you think you'd know that? And he's like, well, I wouldn't have been born. I'm like, yeah, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So we dated a little bit in high school officially, and then Sarah would say that I broke her heart because we broke up. I don't really remember why. There wasn't really a reason. We were young, right? But then we just always liked each other. The whole time we'd see each other in the hallway, and it was like a moment every time.
It's like the slow motion.
Yep. And then I graduated because I was a couple years older than her, and then I didn't see her because I wasn't in school anymore. But every now and then, I'd meet her in the red van that she was driving, and I'd be like, "Oh, there she is, Sarah."
That's funny.
Yep. And then I guess when you graduated and went to college, then we got back together. And she went to college. I went to the same college that she went to. I finished my bachelor's degree, and then she got her bachelor's degree. Timing wise, I have no idea how that makes any sense because I already had 2 years of college. I only had to go to 2 years. So you must have went to school for 2 years before I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any of that. That's weird.
That's when you worked at the golf course.
Yeah.
And as a crossing guard.
Yeah,
And
I had a lot of weird
the
jobs in there.
bank. You had like several different jobs.
Yep. So, and then while we were in college together, that's when we opened the restaurant and ran that together. I think what I'm getting to, I guess, is that we've always had a really strong relationship.
Well, I mean, we've never had like just this normal like let's hang out and chill kind of life. Like we've always done things that are abnormal.
We've done things that I think would normally be very straining to a relationship, but I don't know.
Worked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that we don't have our disagreements. We're both pretty bullheaded.
No.
But sad thing though, I looked in our old restaurant and the roof was
that was
has
sad.
holes in it and it was like totally flooded out. I brought the kids to see it. We
Yeah.
went in the back, in like the creepy back.
Showed them the graffiti on the
Yeah.
back wall.
And I said, there's some creepy graffiti back here. And Ellie goes back and she's like, where's the creepy faces? And I was like, no, it's just weird. But it was like a back alleyway kind of thing, but in the woods.
Yeah, we've done a lot together. And I wouldn't say the renovation has been the hardest thing, honestly. No. Any other good questions? Yeah, exactly, money making, Mike G. That's what it is. Right there.
Let's see if there's any more questions.
I'm glad that we did this. It's funny how we've been doing YouTube for so long, but yet we've probably only done questions and answers like twice.
Yeah. The moisture from the dryer does not come into the house.
Not
it
at
has
all.
a little copper drain
Yep.
tube.
It just has a drain tube that goes right where your washing machine drains to.
Yeah. Yeah, so firewood can be expensive. You've always cut firewood.
That doesn't make it cheap though. Cutting your own is it's still expensive.
I used to be the splitter. Like I would run the wood splitter and stack all the wood and bring all the wood into the house.
You know, the way Sarah remembers that.
This is for
Oh,
real.
I've stacked and split all the wood. It's like you did it for a couple years.
No, I
We
didn't
burned
always
wood for
stack it.
like 15 years,
I-
and you can't stack wood twice and be like, I did all that.
I'm usually the one to bring the wood
I
in,
would
though.
peel the bark off the wood with a butter knife.
Well, I would do that probably because then I could mulch my gardens. But anyway, yeah. So firewood can be expensive.
Firewood's expensive.
But it is plentiful here.
Chainsaws are expensive. The gas adds up, and it's time. You gotta have a truck. Trucks are expensive. Yeah, I could go on and on. I could host a Skillshare class on why firewood is terrible. I mean, if you like it, you like it, right? The only way I would do firewood now, the only way, is an outdoor wood boiler. Because it's outdoors. The mess, the smoke, it's outdoors. Like CJ, He's got a pretty good setup. I think his is indoors, but it's like not in his house. Like it's in like a woodshed kind of thing. That's what it seems to be, and it's that's a good way to do it.
Leah asks if you keep all your footage after editing.
Leah, I wish
We have so many hard
I
drives.
get sad easy.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I kind of stopped keeping all my footage about a year ago. And I wish I had it now because Grandpa's gone and I had not a lot of good footage, but footage. The external drives are kind of expensive. And I was buying them as I needed them. And I don't know, something got into me where I didn't want to buy them anymore. It's like I got 5 of them plugged into my computer, you know, and like, so I started only keeping my videos. But now I go back and I try to like find something and they can't because like I don't have it. So you can't, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that.
Someone said you're patient to edit because they can't find the time to look at and organize pictures. I am awful about that.
That's hard to do.
Oh, I can't. I mean, even like, it's just, that is really hard. Someone said we could have 1 million subscribers in 2 years.
No.
I don't think that's
YouTube's
gonna
hard.
happen.
You know, there's I think about 2 years ago I stopped caring if the channel grew. And I don't want that to come off as like mean or rude or I just, you know, I worked so hard in the beginning. I'm like, I'm going to put out content every week and I'm going to grow my channel. I want to be like Wrangler Star or something, you know, and then in the end it's like, oh, YouTube's really hard. There's like a lot of people making great videos and the algorithm is like, who knows how that makes sense. I'll tell you, I get a lot of comments weekly of like, why don't you have more subscribers? And it's like, always like, this is the thing. It was 2 years ago. I came to the realization I'm super happy of like where I am. I'm super happy that I stuck to my guns and shot video every weekend and edited videos every weekend. Very happy that I'm doing what I'm doing. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But again, as I said, I make the videos for me and that's what drives me to do it. I have an amazing bank of video and memories. And, you know, the videos I do have of Grandpa, you know, I do have those and like most people wouldn't, you know, have anything. So, I don't know the question, but I got off.
That's okay. A lot of comments about the music. Time is a Currency is somebody's favorite.
Yeah, Time is a Currency is a really, really good song. And it's basically how I feel about what I'm doing. And life in general. You know, you only have so much time. So, and I've doubted my decision to do what I'm doing because that's 5 years right now that I've got into it. I look back in like my Facebook history and it's like, 9 years ago we went to this museum with Lily and it's like, oh, we haven't gone there in like 3 years because we've been busy. And so I'm giving up those things to do this because you can't do everything. You know, like, it's funny, I kind of give my mom a hard time because like she always wants us to hang out. She always wants us to, you know, take a weekend off. And it's like, Mom, if I took a weekend off every single time you asked me to, then we would be doing this for 9 years. And it's an exaggeration, but it's kind of true. If I didn't work every weekend, if we took off one weekend a month, it would have taken another year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, time is a currency. I hope that in the end, I have spent it wisely. Yeah, your brother Your brother's accident is like
You're just trying to make everybody cry.
no, but your brother's accident was like, it really made me second guess what I've done. But I do think that seeing Lily's joy today, putting clothes in her closet, it's just such a little thing, but she had a joy, you know, like this excitement, that maybe I've worked 5 years for, you know, just that 10-second moment.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendra's still watching too. I appreciate all of you being on here.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd watch me talk for an hour. Probably not. I think I would tire myself out. Yeah, Leah, we're pretty much moved in at this point, in the sense that there's food here, there's a washer and dryer here now. Our pets are here except for the lizard. I would say that there's some major things that still need to come in here, like Lily's bed is not here yet. She is not ready to bring her bed here, because in her eyes, if it's here, then it's not at her other house, and then she's not comfortable with that yet. So, and I'm gonna let her, I want her to tell me when she's ready to have her bed come here. So, in Lily's mind, we're not moved in yet.
No, we're not. We're just hanging out.
Yeah. It's kind of like camping in a way, because we have fires here. We have a really nice fire pit. So almost every night we've been having a fire. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Bernard said that when we first started that I was so shy and hardly spoke.
She is shy.
I think that has more to do with like editing.
I've edited a certain way to make Sarah look like a super nice, caring. No.
Just like, it's hard to interject when like you have a plan in your mind, but like I'm not a soft-spoken person, really.
No, she's kind of scary.
I mean, I talk quietly, and maybe that's why. So I do talk quietly.
I can't tell you the thousands and thousands of times I'm editing, and Sarah says like the perfect thing.
Cause I'm so witty and I'm so funny. but I.
Did you hear that? No, she says the perfect thing, but I can't put it in the video because you can't hear it. And I hate doing subtitles.
Right.
Like I'll
have a mask on.
Yeah, I'll do it for the kids because what they say is hard to understand sometimes, but it's just, it adds so much time to the edit. So it's like, I'm always like, Sarah, if you could talk just a little louder, it'd be so much. Like, I have a loud voice.
So
I had to have a loud voice in order to be heard in my household. It was like, be loud or starve to death. What do you want to do?
I think that I should just like wear earplugs, so then I
You do
shout,
talk louder
and then
when-
you get mad that I'm shouting.
Yeah, you do talk a lot louder when you have earplugs on.
Somebody asked, Soggy? I'm not sure.
They
his
asked?
name. No,
Oh.
the name. Do you plan to do any more live chats with other YouTubers like you did in the past?
That was a lot of fun. That was a
yeah.
lot of fun. So the reason why we haven't done a lot of those live casts like we did in the past, and I hope I'm not wrong here, there was a easy way that CJ figured out how to do the live thing, and then that went away. They made it. They made it so you couldn't do it anymore, and now the only way to do it is through this really difficult program that I just have a really hard time working with.
But we haven't tried in a very long time, so it could be different.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun because that was fun. That was
I know.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking with CJ. We haven't chatted in a while. I think he's off now. He probably had to go. He's got a lot going on, but yeah. I've met a lot of good people through YouTube. A lot of good people.
So Mindy asked, what are our college degrees in? And Leah. So We're both business administration.
Fancy. Yeah, so I started college. I was going for criminal justice. You didn't know that? Technically, I started liberal arts. And then I changed to criminal justice. Then I changed to auto mechanic repair.
What?
And then I went back to liberal arts.
This is proof you're making this up.
No, I'm not.
I've never heard this.
It was all in my first college.
He told me that he almost...
He told me what? What did I tell
that
you?
You almost signed up for the Marines.
I did.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yep, right out of high school. Yeah, so I was very indecisive.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, what happened was when I was going to school, the only classes that I was getting really good grades in were business oriented. So then I was like, I'm gonna major in business because econ is easy and biology is hard. I remember taking chemistry. I had a high school, the second year I took chemistry. It's the only class I ever failed. I had like a 90 in that class. I did really well, but I took chemistry in college, and they're like telling me these elements that I never even knew existed.
Yeah, there's a lot more now, actually.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And I didn't fail. I pulled out of that class before they got my money.
Withdraw.
Chemistry is the only class I ever failed in
No.
high school.
Oh, in high school. In college, you had to do statistics.
Oh, yeah, in college,
Dose.
statistics was very statistically hard for me to get through. I think it's three tries.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, the third try I helped you.
Now they're gonna take my degree away.
No, I didn't do it for you. I was totally against that. But I helped you. Like studying and stuff.
There were some other classes I think you helped me quite heavily on, like.
Well, I think a lot of our professors
Spanish?
were like really happy. Like we had a lot of classes together. But like I'm like I gotta have a 4.
She's the straight 4.0 student. It's so annoying. She'd study till 3 in the morning, and I didn't ever study.
But like I think a lot of them would have assumed that we would like cheat off each other. Or you would cheat off me. But like we never did that.
No, because you would have thrashed me.
Yeah. You could have stayed up to study.
No. No.
But-
I was totally happy with a 3.0. And if someone gave Sarah like a 3.95, she'd fight for that 5 points or whatever it is. I don't know what difference it is.
0. Yeah.
I've never been one to shoot for real high, crazy like grade achievement. I wanted to pass. I never missed a day of high school. They used to give you money, like $5 at the end of the year, if you went to school every single day. I hated missing school.
Oh my gosh, I was so opposite of that.
School was hard for me. Like I like learning disabilities. I was in like a resource room kind of thing for reading and writing. I'm not embarrassed by it. I kind of thought like, oh, most people wouldn't say that. I'm not. I had a hard time in school. So yeah, I was just really happy with like a 80. Like that's really good for me.
I'm like, I need to have the best.
Yeah, her class was competitive.
Mhm. But I didn't go to school all the time. I was like, eh.
You were homeschooled for a while.
Yeah, when I first started school, I was homeschooled off and on.
Mhm.
I would go to school like once a week.
I
Like my siblings would go, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I hated missing school. I mean, this isn't gonna surprise anybody, but I was kind of like a social butterfly in school. Like, I don't pride myself, I guess, at the fact that I was friends with everybody. Like, we didn't have like cliques. I think that's what it's called. I was friends with everybody, you know. School was fun. And being from a small town, like you see someone from your class and like it's been like, 21 years and it's like, hey, it's fun. I like that. I like being from a small
But you're
school.
like a popular person, though.
So tell me how popular I was.
Well, like, you got along with everyone.
Yeah,
I would
well,
say,
'cause
and you were popular.
I think it's easy to get along with the people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I liked people. I like talking with people.
So Aaron asked if we framed the picture that we found in the wall.
Oh, the tin?
Yeah.
We found a 5x7 tin photograph in the wall. I have not framed it. No.
We
it's-
did talk to someone about
Yep.
preservation and stuff, though.
Yeah, there's really no way to preserve it. That's the problem. So you just want to basically
Keep it out of sun?
keep
Like
it out of
what?
everything.
Keep it in a safe?
I think my plan is to take a really good photograph of it and then put that photograph on my wall and then keep the tin in some sort of case so less air and everything can hit it. Because it deteriorated fast since finding it. Just handling it a little bit. Yeah, UV glass probably would help, Kendra. But it's really just about touching it because it's tin. So, you know, if you just move it a little bit, I mean, it's really fragile. I'd love to know who it is. It's a
Well-
woman. I don't.
They're saying that it's Hepzibah.
They think it's Hepzibah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that that's been confirmed or anything. Is there a way that we can, like, get a different picture of her to prove that to me? If there is, email me on that.
Yeah.
If you can prove that. There's some family members to the original, like, not the original family, but one of the families that lived in the house in the chat.
Yep.
And they've done a lot of look back on that family. Obviously, it's their family. I've met a lot of the family members. Some of you might not know this. I'm gonna get how many greats it is. I think it's 4 greats. Great granddaughter of the original builder. Think of that. That blew my mind. Like, and she came here. It was amazing. It was. I gave her some pieces of the house that her, great whatever probably carved with his hands. Like, that was so cool to be able to share that with her. That's the kind of connections that YouTube's given me that are priceless. Like, that is so cool.
So Mike G said that he went with a gas with remote for the
Ooh,
instead
fancy.
of wood.
I would do that.
Good choice.
I'd be about that, but I don't know. Maybe in the kitchen I could see doing something like that if there's a good space for it.
Yeah.
A propane, yeah, because then there's no mess, no
And propane
smoke and stuff like that. Good night, Kendra.
Connie asked about the railing, I guess. Maybe I didn't read it correctly. I don't know. But we're painting the railing to match the railing upstairs. Most likely white. I don't know if we're going to go with the same trim. I just always assumed white.
I think the railing, the stairs and stuff will be white.
Yeah.
See, we're really bad at color choice.
But the stair treads are going to be stained or oiled wood. And then the riser part will be painted something.
Yeah. White.
Maybe white.
I don't know.
But the spindles will be painted.
Yeah. That way
I'm not stripping those.
they'll all match and stuff.
Stripping the stairs has been like so long.
Yeah, it's a lot of me wishes I just could rip those stairs out and put in new stairs, to be honest, because it'd be so much faster and easier and probably better. But I can't get rid of those stairs. They mean too much to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about Grandpa. Like when you walked up the stairs and like holding the railing, like.
I put a lot of stuff in my videos that I know certain people notice without saying it. But that moment, I showed you probably 10 seconds, but I probably was on the stairs for 15 minutes. Just thinking about Grandpa. Because
he would have really liked it.
he gave me heck one time because I didn't have a railing. And that's the story. He's just like,
well,
when?
he doesn't.
He's like, when are you going to put a railing on the stairs? I'm 93, bro. I'm like, sorry, Grandpa. And I made a railing that day. It was a couple 2x4s put together, and it was strong. It was good. It was good for him. Those railing pieces I wanted to use somewhere, but I took them down. I used the railing, the 2x4s for the railing, so that's what I used down in the kids' play thing underneath the stairs when I had to frame it out. It means nothing to some people, but it means everything to me. I really wanted to use it and make like a trim piece, but you just can't. The board, they were warped and they were full of knots, and I just couldn't make anything out of them. Good night, Mike. Thanks for chatting with me the whole time, buddy. Yeah, I don't like beat myself up over it or what, because what's done is done. I just really wish I could have finished the house to where it is now from have Grandpa see it.
I know.
So he passed away like right after we bought the maple. So he never saw the floor go down.
It was always like a thing like I wanted.
Yeah. He didn't see the trim, which I think he would have been like blown away by how good I got these miters. Oh. And the windows in general. Like he saw the upstairs windows trimmed out. Oh, finished.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of time with me. Like we would talk a lot, and I didn't record it a lot. And he would always tell me like to do it at my own pace. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks as far as like how long I take to do things or decisions that I make. Or
I can just see him saying it. Well, it's not me, it's you.
yeah. Oh, if I would ask him like, hey, do you think I should like straighten this up or redo this? And he's like, I wouldn't, but if you want to, then do it.
Mm-hmm.
He liked to see the progress. The day he got real bad and we went there, like when we knew that he was gonna probably be sick for, or not better or whatever, but I talked to him a lot about the house. He couldn't really say anything back, but I knew that, he was listening.
Do you just want like full on tears?
I'm not. I'm just.
I mean, I always joke like when you put certain songs or like certain clips of like the kids or Grandpa, that I'm like, what are you trying to do? Just make me cry.
I think it's just important to.
Like with the music and stuff, like
Yeah.
it can bring out these emotions. It's like.
It's just, I don't know.
I mean, I'm a crier though.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about Grandpa until the day I die, just because, like, that's how you remember your past ancestors, right? If I never talk about Grandpa, then my kids won't hear those stories, and they won't know them, and then they won't be able to talk about them. So it's important. It's important. Like,
Yeah.
that's how things get passed down.
Lonnie asked a question during the whole renovation. What had you in a tizzy that you found that was hard to do? It's like every step, like every new step.
Well, I don't know what tizzy.
You don't know what tizzy means.
No, I don't know if it means more than what I'm giving it credit for. Like I would say that I very rarely got super, super worked up over a certain thing. There were lots of days where I would be like, I don't think I'm going to be able to figure this out.
Sarah, I am not capable of doing this. And it literally, you just
When this floor was ripped apart and it's just joists and they're super uneven, and I'm looking at it like, I don't know what to do.
But it was like almost every new step. Like,
Yeah.
this is a whole new thing. And it's like you gotta wrap your head around it. Like at first you're like, I can't do this. And then you work it in your mind like a hamster on a wheel.
Well, like trimming the windows, right? The first two were horrible, freaked me out. Probably took me days to do one window, and then by the end, I'm like, boom, boom, boom.
The bathroom down here, you're like, I can do that in 30 minutes.
Yep. And the very first window I did was the upstairs bathroom. I'm actually going to probably redo the trim on the inside of that window because it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, you did say that.
I'm way better at it now, so I can rip that out and do it over, and I know I can make it look better.
Well, there's the answer somebody asked.
What?
Would we do
Oh
something
yeah,
differently?
the upstairs bathroom window. And no, I'll stop there.
Well, we would have done new joists on this if this had not been the very first thing.
The big living room, I tried to shim the joist level, and it's way better just to put new
Like sister
new joists on your old joists,
Yeah.
because that's what I did on the other side of the house, and it's way easier, way better, way faster, all those things.
Bernard, Lucas is not sponsored by Milwaukee.
No, Milwaukee doesn't sponsor things. They don't need to. They just put out a pretty good product, not the best though. I don't like any company saying they have the best of something. It's like there's plenty of Milwaukee tools I have where I'm like,
Ooh, the
this
worst
is the
one
worst
is the
design.
sander. Oh,
That sander, I could punt it across the
he
road
gets mad every
sometimes.
time.
You're sanding and you're like, you know, whatever, and then the cover pops off that holds all the dust in, and just the fine dust just hits you in the face. And like the DeWalt sander that I have is way better than that one.
Somebody asked, lump of clay. We had a lump of clay upstairs the kids were fighting over. Just tonight. Are you a runner? Mizuno shoes are the best.
They are good.
I think I would have considered myself a runner in the past.
I worked at a store right down the road from her in high school, and she would run by me.
I would run every day with my dog.
I
3
got into
miles.
running. I wanted to run a sub 5-minute mile, and I worked at it until I did it probably once, and then I was like, that's easy.
Worked at it. It was like a week.
Well, it didn't take me long.
No, it didn't.
Long distance running is appealing to me, I gotta say. Like, there's something about, like, your thought process, you get in the groove, and you can... I got into biking for a little while. That was fun. I don't have time for it. That's the problem.
Biking takes a long time. Like, you go 30 miles.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a long ways. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, we don't run now.
Mm-mm.
You know, the last time I ran.
I just run from her.
The last time I ran, like, for exercise, I think I was 7 or 8 months pregnant with Jace. It's been a long time.
If I wasn't busy, like, every night after work, editing, or weekend, you know, like, I'm the type of person where I'd be like, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna go for a run.
Yeah, I like that.
Just gonna go run. And I could probably legit run, like, 3 or 4 miles.
I'm pretty sure my hip would hurt now, though.
My
I
hip?
can't. I don't think I can do it.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
Your knees would hurt.
Oh, jeez, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
My hip.
I think it would.
My hip would hurt, to be honest. Turning 40, what, in a couple months? Ugh. That doesn't sound that bad. I mean, I've never been one to really care about my age. It's more about how you feel, right? I feel old. I feel broken. I hurt my back the other day putting up blinds. It's like, how does that happen? I lifted a dryer up the stairs with her dad with straps around my back. You know, we're like lifting this dryer up the stairs, and that's fine, whatever. And then I go and like lift my arms like this to like put blinds in a window. I'm like, oh.
It's always something random like that.
I know.
Like, let's get Ellie out of the car, and you're like, nope.
Yeah, and you hurt for like 3 days.
Are you going to put, Jason asked, are you going to put radiant floor heat in the kitchen?
Yeah. 100% radiant in-floor heat, granite floor in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we got that granite, I just said, for like 50 cents a foot. We have a lot of it. It's like 400 or 500 square foot of it. And definite radiant. It's a good way to go.
Will says, do you have a backup generator to keep the boiler running? Oh, we need that.
We don't, but we do need, yeah.
We do.
We do. It's part of the plan. I'm probably gonna get a Harbor Freight Predator generator at some point. It's one of those things. It's like you don't need it until you need it, but you don't want to wait until you need it to get it. But I need to prioritize that, to be honest. Who's asked that question? That was a good question. That was good.
Will
Will?
R.
Yeah.
Good thinking, Will.
Yeah, I need to prioritize that, Will, because it's more than just buying a generator. I need to hook up a generator switch box to the things that I want to run off the generator, and then at least get that done, because then I could go out and buy a generator if something happened.
Right.
And then plug it in, start it up.
So the power goes out here, I think, way more often than our other house.
We'll lose power here, I think, 3 or 4 times a year pretty easily, but not for a long time.
Right.
But
there's just a lot of maple trees around.
when it's like 30 below and you lose power and your whole water's full of like water tubes,
That's terrifying.
it's terrifying.
Well, the next question is any ghost stories, and that would be a terrifying story.
Yeah, not a ghost story
No.
though. No,
We tell like funny, silly ghost stories by the fire because the kids like that.
kids like ghost
And
stories.
they make their own ghost story videos in the house often. They like dress up and pretend, but
No ghost stories though here.
no like actual ghosts.
Not for the lack of trying though. I've tried. Like I walk around, I notice like reflections. I'm just like looking in the background of the TV reflection right now, like something gonna walk by. I'm like, nope, never does. And I've never felt weird here. I've never felt I don't know. So no.
Connie
I'm not really one to believe in that sort of stuff either. though.
Connie asked if our tenant has ever come over to see what we've done. I don't think he has. It was kind of weird. He came to our front door
Yeah.
the other day, which normally he just like puts the check in here from his door. But I don't think he's ever come over.
I guess I've never really asked either. I really am about like separate spaces. Like
Yeah.
I don't ever assume that somebody wants to see it.
Right. He did say maybe someday I'll get a grand tour. So maybe we should have him see it.
If he wants to see it, I'd definitely
Like,
show him. but-
I've been planting on the other side of his house, and I feel weird, like, walking right across in
Yeah.
front of his house. Like, I go either around the back, which is much farther, or I go way out away from his door. Because, like,
Yeah.
I just feel like
we
it's
only
his
go
space.
over there if he asks us to.
Mhm.
I mean, it's weird. I know that I'm in a small category here, but the number keeps getting bigger, but I've probably only been over there 12 times,
Well, 'cause
15
we,
times. Because he's,
Feed his cat.
yeah, he'll ask
That's
us to
it.
take care of his cat if he goes to like Canada or something like that. Yeah, that's his space. That's his house. So I'm excited to get over there though and rip into it. I can't wait to destroy your home.
That sounds so ominous.
It does, but he didn't, we talked about it not that long ago about when he'd be moving out and stuff like that. He didn't seem like upset by it. I mean, he's a grown up, he's an adult, so it's not like it's a devastating thing. I think he's gonna move closer to someone that he's dating too, so that'll be better for him too. Shorter drives, stuff like that. Good night, Pamela. Someone said good night, Pamela. Great conversation, great questions.
Yeah, this is fun.
Are you near Plattsburgh? Have you ever heard of Plattsburgh?
Well, that's where your sister's close to.
Yeah. We're not, I mean, you could say we're near Plattsburgh for
near-ish.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't hit it with a rock. I could probably hit it with a golf
Kayun
ball.
was on.
Oh,
or
really?
is, I don't know. She's coming next week.
Kayung's coming here?
Yeah. She's
So
in California.
Sarah's parents have done some foreign exchange students, and Kayung was their first exchange student from South Korea, and she's wicked cool. and the kids love her.
Yeah, Jace was like, I think he was 2.
You call her Nuna?
Well, that means like
Yeah.
big sister or something. I don't know. But he was 2, and he was just like enamored by her.
Yeah, he
like,
loved her.
Oh, he was so in love with her.
Yeah. So that's cool. We'll show her the house.
Mhm. Okay. Are we gonna do some homesteading with acreage? Like, someone else asked about chickens. I don't know if we'll have chickens.
Probably not.
I kind of like the idea of it because they eat ticks.
Yeah.
So chickens, guinea hens, but not like a big old thing. You want a goat or 2? I want a rabbit because I want the compost, but he said no. But that's not homesteading. That's
Yeah.
just like
Not huge on
pet.
that. I'm not huge on that lifestyle because it's hard.
It is really hard.
It's hard
It's
work.
satisfying though. Like, I made this.
Oh, I could never grow an animal for food. I'd get attached. I'd feel so bad. Even getting like pigs, knowing you're gonna slaughter them, I would feel so bad.
Mhm.
There's just no way. I can't do that.
Well, like Jace gets mad if you kill a fly. No joke, literally. So I think it'd be really, really hard on them.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I feel bad when I kill a bug.
Mhm.
I hit a snake with the lawnmower the other day. I had to bury it with the kids and we made a cross for it. I felt bad.
I stepped on a frog and I felt.
You
wicked
did. That was a
bad.
cute
It
little
was
frog
like-
though, you murderer.
Oh, I felt really bad.
I was like, how did that even happen?
I went to step over it. I was carrying something heavy, wasn't
Yeah.
I went to step over it and it jumped under my foot. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I don't have that farmer mentality by any means to raise things.
I cried every time we killed a cow when I was a kid.
It's sad.
I cry when you get rid of vehicles, so I'm really mad about it. Okay. Pamela was saying that she cries when we have moments in our family loss. And it feels like family. Like, we talk to you guys a lot, and you obviously, I mean, we don't know you as much as you know us, probably, most of you, but,
I've got
It's-
quite a few people that, quite a few. I've got a handful of people I talk to on Instagram often. But it's still, you know, it's,
we appreciate sharing this and,
Yeah.
like, motivating us,
oh
I
yeah.
guess.
I couldn't have done it without,
Yeah.
I could not have done this without sharing it on YouTube. No way. Because that's what got me here every single weekend to work and film and edit and be diligent about doing it. And I mean, I've always been a person to, like, you know, you get your mind on something, you're going to do it. But it's really helped me. And then the motivation, like, geez, we have not had a lot of negativity.
No, we're really lucky.
I don't feed off of negativity anyways. I always feel like that's
Certain things, though, like,
just certain things will get you.
will eat at you.
Maybe.
Eli says there should be like 8 shades of accepting a new project. First comes denial.
Oh,
That's good.
it's
That's
so
perfect.
true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've had a lot of weird, you know, things happen over the 5 years that, you know, a lot of families go through. And we've shared most of them.
Who's your favorite football team? Do
I
you
don't know
even
if,
have
I
that?
don't know if I really have a
But
favorite
that's the
team.
that is the only sport he does watch.
I haven't watched any football yet this
no,
year.
but usually that is the one sport you do watch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't ever watch basketball or baseball.
I need to watch some football because someone's telling me about all the people that have changed from team to team. I'm like, Carson Wentz plays for who now? You know, like, what?
I don't know
Yeah.
anything about it.
Okay, so I didn't watch any football until about like 3 years ago. I did fantasy with some friends, fantasy football. And so I got to where I liked certain players. So I could say there's some players out there that I've really kind of grown to, I don't know, admire, I guess, because I feel like they have good work habits. but there's no individual team that I've definitely signed up to, you know. I think a lot of times when you like a certain team, it's because you were like, I don't know, bred into it. Like, oh, like I like the Bills because my dad liked the Bills. Like my dad didn't watch football. I can't tell you one time that I remembered my dad watching football when we were younger. I don't.
I like the cheerleaders because that's like my thing. And I met the Buffalo Jills once.
You
That
did?
was cool. Yeah.
Huh.
We had like a cheerleading competition
That's cool.
and met them. Yeah. But I don't have a
Just
favorite.
like do some toe touches together or something. do,
I don't know, not really.
do some spirit chants. Like,
You don't even know.
I don't.
Somebody wants
rabbits
us
are, yeah.
to do a gift registry for housewarming. We probably won't do that though.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
That's tough. So we're obviously very thankful to anybody that would even suggest that, right? Like,
Yeah, that's really
like
nice.
sending us something. I know that I've sent some stuff to YouTubers in the past, and I like doing that. I like buying YouTube shirts. I've done that the most. Buying merch because it gives me a shirt. I've supported the channel a little bit, and I mean I like that. But we try to be very careful about like that side of it. Like yeah, like we sell shirts, and actually, Teespring. I was on my Teespring account the other day. I never go on that Teespring account, but I was on there, and I couldn't find any of the moon dust shirts that we had designed by somebody that we knew. I'm like, why can't I find these on my store? And it's because I had my profit margins set so low that they booted them off my store.
Yeah.
They're like, it has to be at least $2. And I was like, why? Like, you make your money. What?
Yeah.
Why does it matter if I'm only making $2? So I had to change. I had to change the price of them.
And that Teespring is interesting because it could be like the same shirt, but like a different price, like depending on the color and things like that. It's like I remember.
Teespring is weird, but it's like the only option.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, the support is honestly watching the videos and a comment. I mean,
And sharing.
I read them all.
Yeah.
I read I've read.
We got really behind this last time because our internet went out at the other house.
Yeah,
and
our
so we
internet was down
couldn't-
for 3 days.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I felt like I was almost like, I don't know, Amish.
I didn't realize how much I use the internet, but that's silly because I'm YouTubing. Like, I could
Right.
still edit, but I couldn't. You know, if you got some sponsorship stuff going on, you got to send your video for approval, and I was like, I can't do that.
You couldn't pick music and.
What's my take on dumpster diving? I've
Go
never.
for it.
Yeah, I've never officially dumpster dived, have I?
I don't know. Have I ever taken something out of a dumpster?
I'll tell you right now. The saying is.
We pick stuff up off the side of the road.
Yeah,
but
one man's trash is another man's treasure, and it's 100% true.
Yeah.
100%. That's why I don't like to throw things away. Like, there's always someone that wants it or needs it. So, yeah.
Lori has a Harbor Freight generator.
They're good. The Predator. I think they just came out with a bigger one too, the Predator generator, and it's like a 9,500 kilowatt hour generator. So it probably wouldn't run the whole house, but it could run everything that matters.
Lori said that you yawned, and that made me yawn.
You?
Yeah. I have a furnace set up to plug into the wall so I can unplug it from the wall and plug it into the generator. Interesting. Yeah,
I've
we've been
always
on here a
wanted
long time.
an on-demand generator. Like, what are they called? Generac? Where they just kick on automatically the minute your power goes out. I got a quote, and it about blew me away. It was like $11,000. I was like, for what? Like, does it cook you breakfast in the morning? No. You know.
Well,
like,
it might cook your breakfast in the morning because it's
technically.
runs the electric stove.
I guess you're right. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's how much I would spend on like a car. Like, but if Generac is looking for a family to sponsor on YouTube, email me. Hashtag not watching.
Someone said they raised chickens for meat, but had them butcher somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the Amish around here, they raise chickens and rabbits, and then you just go there and say, I want 5 chickens on Friday.
Her parents have done that. They had chickens.
Yeah.
Right. Meat chickens?
No.
How did they do that? They just bought chickens. And
They
then
just went.
So
to
they
the
never
Amish.
met. They never met
They
said
never
chickens.
met the chickens. Well, they may have, but
Yeah, I could do that. I could raise, but if meat chickens,
quick.
certain types of chickens, they get so big that their legs can break because they get so big, and then
they can't
you're
really move around.
you're dealing with that, and
I mean, we don't eat a ton of meat, really. We do have cow, but
we have cow. What a weird sentence.
we have beef.
We got cow.
We have beef, but it's, we know it's raised nicely,
Mhm.
but we didn't raise it.
I like to support my local farmers and buy
Yeah.
meat from them. I just feel bad. Like,
Is the center front door knob operational? That's
are
the,
they talking about the bell?
I think it's the doorbell.
That's a doorbell. Right?
It's like spins and it goes,
It's a very good impression of said doorbell.
yeah. Yeah, it is a doorbell, Dan. Doorbell.
I think this is the type of video where I will not leave on.
Yeah, it's really long.
Wait, this needs to happen every now and then because people are coming and they're going. They're
Mhm.
asking some questions. There are probably a lot of people out there that would watch the whole thing though.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll leave it on. We'll see.
Oh, people love the blooper reel stuff.
Yeah. Someone said,
I
how
just
does it
said-
sound again?
We should do a compilation of Ellie saying, I need to go potty. Cause it's like every time I'm
What are you
doing
talking about?
something.
Is there a question about
No,
that?
it's like they're just talking about a blooper reel. But I
Oh.
was talking to my dad about it because every time I get on the phone or every time the camera's on and I'm there, Ellie needs me to bring her potty. So I was like, we should do a compilation of her yelling, I need to go potty, and like every single 50 times in a row.
We probably would have a lot of little things that we could use for like a blooper reel, but not of me like, falling off a ladder or something like that. Like I've only fallen once, which would be considered like a good blooper. I've only hurt myself a couple times, which I don't think those are funny. I've never really liked the videos where people like get hurt. It's
I
like,
can't watch
yeah,
that.
I don't like to watch that. Like someone like getting hit with something.
I'm more like, it's funny if you like, well, you tripped in the dog water today and the kids are all like
Yeah.
laughing at you. Like that kind of thing is okay.
Yeah, they thought that was really funny when I fell in the dog water.
Jan D said they've been here since the first 2 minutes. Wow.
Wow.
You are like hanging out with us tonight.
I meant it when I said I wouldn't even listen to myself for an hour. I tell you, I don't ever get sick of sharing like the same story though with someone that asks the same question, like, because if you've invested your time into watching the renovation and getting to know us, then I'm gonna answer your question.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would ever
I mean,
change with me.
We're like pretty open to like, there's not much that we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
But
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't have something to hide, I guess. If
I mean, I can understand people wanting like privacy
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, but like that's minimal. Like whatever. A lot of people have been here like the whole time.
yeah, but that's it. As far as like questions and everything, now we're right up to date. We're up to. So I think we got everything. You think I'm very entertaining? Thank you. No, it's been fun. So I'm really glad that I did this. I probably will not leave this video live.
Yeah, some people
Just-
are saying leave it, but
Oh, really?
well, the thing is, anybody that has the notification, the bell,
Yeah.
they'll get a notification.
And can watch it.
Yep, if we just keep it,
That's a good reason to have that bell
Unlisted.
dong. Ding dong.
if it's unlisted, they'll get the notification and
Yeah.
still be able to watch it. So
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Live videos for me are fun because it's fun to interact. That's actually probably what I like about life in general is interaction. So YouTube was very hard at first because it's a one-way conversation putting a video out. Like
Someone asked why. Jan asked why would we take it down?
because well, I was just kind of saying
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like more of a personal conversation when you're live, and it doesn't usually translate very well after the fact.
Right. It's like, I don't know, a whole bunch of people came over to hang out and then
Yep.
you,
Especially questions and answers because you're reading off of questions which I think when you're watching them back, can
Mhm.
you even see those?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I can leave it live, see what happens. Anybody who watches it though after the fact, let me know in the comments
It's,
below to see if anybody even did.
Agnes is watching from Scotland and it's
Wow.
4 a.m.
What? Get to bed. 4 a.m. I have not stayed up till 4 in a long
No,
time.
I don't want to.
Mm-mm. No, I couldn't do that. I'd have a migraine in the morning.
The Beatles said they just found us right this second. Well,
What do you mean?
hello.
Like
Our
new
channel?
to the channel?
I don't
Did you
know.
subscribe? Don't say yes unless you did, because I can check right now.
Unless they're unlisted.
That's true, and then I will have no idea. No, that's cool. We appreciate all of you. This is so much more fun than us watching like some TV show.
We've been watching not great TV, but
There's really nothing to watch.
we've actually been what is it called? Rain.
Yeah.
It seems
You've been watching it.
yeah,
I don't-
he's been watching TikTok. And then he'll comment. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll sit right next to each other and be in our different worlds because
We don't usually do that though.
No. We usually have a good show that we can watch together, but I just feel like there's nothing to watch.
Well, after Downton ended,
Downton, yeah, that's the best
we
show.
watched that recently, the whole thing.
You are our television.
Man, people are up in the middle of the night.
I know.
Like, oof.
Oh, it's 5 in the morning in South. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like the sun is not right here, right now for us.
Yeah.
The sun has been gone for a long time.
It's getting dark early now.
A live build video, Gabby. I think have I done that? I feel like I've done a paint with me or a something with me.
I don't know.
It's really tough because I'm not kidding you. You watch a video, say it's 20 minutes long, right? There's probably 7 to 10 hours of footage there, and I edited all the way down to 20 minutes. So to think that there's like really no project. I'm sure there's some projects I could do during a live thing, but then it would be hard for me to concentrate on that and everybody else too.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably like a certain job out there that I could do that with. It have to be something fun though. Like maybe when we go to oil, that old floor section, something like that, we could definitely do live. Because it takes no brain power and it'd be fun, it'd be kind of fast, probably take like an hour. That would be fun. We should do that. Call it like live oiling.
Brian asked if we're gonna get some. If we're gonna, I'm getting too tired here. I just sounded awful.
I didn't think
Are
you
we
sounded
going?
any different, to be honest.
Are we going to get solar panels?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yep. Not to be off the grid, not to be sustainable. I don't consider myself like a YouTube channel. I know that we have a YouTube channel. I know that, but a lot of YouTube channels that I watch, they always go through this cycle where they do something, and then they renovate a van, and then they get solar panels, you know, and then they like build. I don't know. It just seems like they try to keep the content going with. So yes, solar panels. I'd love to get solar panels, but just because I think they're cool. It'd be kind of nice to offset like the power that we use. But I don't want to be off grid. Nothing like that. I like being on grid. The grid is consistent. It's expensive.
It's consistently expensive.
Consistently expensive. My sister, in upstate from us, they did something where they got solar panels, and it locked them into some kind of payment over like a 10-year period, and their payment is fixed. And then because of that, now they don't pay electricity because the panels pay for that, and then they're hooked in grid, which is nice. So I would do something like that, definitely. Yep. And I'm never gonna renovate a van.
Don't say that. When
I'm
Lily's
not.
like, Dad,
No.
let's buy this and work
No.
on it together.
No. We'll get a 71 Mustang Mach 1. We'll renovate a Mach 1 together.
You'll get a VW
No.
van.
Nope. It's gonna be a Camaro or a Mustang. I can't say almost.
That car is too attractive.
Someone was selling the parts, every part you'd pretty much need for a 68 Camaro. And I really wanted to get it. And it wasn't even very expensive necessarily for what the car could be worth. Because I was like, that would be amazing. But I know nothing about mechanics. I mean, I fix my own cars now, but that's like, brakes, oil changes, anything like, alternator stuff I can do. I can do a lot of things, I guess, but I want to build a car. I had a 68 Camaro. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah, 68, best year, in my opinion. And then I would take an early 70s Mustang also.
You would take.
I'd take a 60s also, like a 66. Yeah. 68s are nice. But anyways, we've reached way past our bedtime. I'm sure some of you are past your bedtimes.
Or you're getting up.
Yeah. But why do I have a hat on? What do you mean?
He's not bald. He just wears hats.
I always wear hats. Some people are old school. I say old school, like don't wear a hat inside, but I do.
A lot of people have asked, not a lot. Some people have asked if you are bald or balding.
I think it's because I
you
always wore
wear
a toque
or a hat.
or a hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out. Again, I mean it. This was fun. We could probably do this every night. I think people would get really sick of us. But every now and then, it's really fun to get on and talk to everybody live. And I really appreciate the super chats. That's unexpected every time. You don't feel like you need to. I mean, we appreciate it, but don't feel like you need to do that. We're here because this is fun. This is fun.
Let's go get some sleep.
Bedtime.
Hopefully.
All right.
I go to bed, but I never sleep, so.
All right. Talk
Thank
to y'all
you.
later. Oh, I pushed it once, nothing happened. Push it again.